Hey, it's Rusty. I thought, come on here. I started a ministry called In Good Hands, and I wanted to come on and really why that that name came to me. Because if you look at Daniel chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar, the king, threw Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego to a fiery furnace because they stood up for God. Uh, the king put up a idol, an image, and because he didn't serve the God that we serve. He didn't serve the one true God. And he put out that decree where anytime that they heard music, that they had to bow down and worship that image, worship that idol, that golden idol. Well, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to. See, because the Bible tells us, and God tells us, not to have no other gods before him, and not to bow down to an image or an idol, not to worship them. See, what can that lifeless object do for you? See, Jesus is alive and well. Some think that he's still on the cross. How could he be on the cross still if he rose again? Yes, he went to the cross. They took him down and buried him. And he rose again. See, but here in Daniel chapter 3, this is in the Old Testament, so it's before Jesus walked the earth. Nebuchadnezzar had put up this golden statue. Gonna bow down. See, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood up for God. They stood up for what they believed in. So we need to do that more. Let's see. If you look at verses 23 through 25, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up in haste, spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose. Think of this. Listen to this, okay? Walking in the midst of the fire, I see four men loose. Walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. See, he must have knew that there was a God. The one true God. But see, he didn't serve him. See, God showed up. We're in his hands, just like Allstate, that insurance company. Think of it. You're in good hands. What's the best insurance you can have? Jesus. See, they stood up for what they believed, which is what we need to do more of. God kept them safe because they followed him. They served him. They stayed true to him. See, he's our protection. He's not going to let no harm come. See, if you read down further into the chapter, Nebuchadnezzar said, "What is this God? Who is this God?" Because see, they came out. No smell like smoke. Nothing. No hairs on their head was singed or nothing. See, only in God's hands can you be protected like that. Only in God's care. See, and see, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego knew, if you look at Daniel chapter 3, verse 7, "Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar, the king, had set up." See, they did that because they didn't want to get thrown into the fiery furnace. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow down to any other thing but the true God, the one true God. There's one true God, one baptism, and one body, and one spirit. And now if you look at John 15, verses 4 through 6, it says, "Abide in me, and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye except ye abide in me. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. Without me, you can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch, and is withered, and men gather them, and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt." See, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego abided in him, abided in God. They had a strong relationship with them, and God protected them. We're in good hands with the Father. But see, we have to come to the Son to get to the Father. But we can do nothing without the Holy Spirit. Spirit is a breath of God. See, without Him, without the Creator, we can do nothing. They knew that. They trusted God. They went through, they went into a fiery furnace, a fiery trial. See, that could be a lesson for us. It also says, there's a song, Through the Fire Again. See, gold has to be set in fire. Gold has to be, that's how they purify it. And so we're going to have to go through a little fire. But just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we're going to come out of it. We're not going to smell like that problem. See, we're going to come out of this world not smelling like the world. No harm, no nothing. We're going to overcome, but we got to be in good hands. See, He tells us that nobody can pluck us out of His hands. Nobody. It's good protection. See, that nobody can get to us. See, they might be able to do certain things, to this body, this flesh. They can't pull us out of God's hands. Good example is Job. That's why I call it in good hands. This ministry, I call it in good hands, because we are in good hands. We're in the best hands that we can be in as Christians. Not in the hands of this world, but in the hands of our Creator, God Almighty. It's when we're in the middle of that situation, we're that the thoughts and things come, trying to get our focus off God. So that's enemy working. God says, no, this is my child. You are not gonna hurt him or her. You're not gonna hurt this child. It belongs to me. See, just like a child in a father's arms, when they're carrying them, they're in that protection. Just think of it. We have a bigger Father in heaven. So in all of us in his hands. That's the hands I want to be in. I want to be in the good hands. You know, that's why Nebuchadnezzar asked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who is this God that you serve? They walked out of the furnace. No smell, no harm whatsoever. See, sometimes we go through these trials and aspire to help us grow, to show us things. See, they knew that if God be for us, who can be against us? What people, just like Joseph, his brothers intended to do evil, but God brought it around to be good. See, God took that situation and turned it around for good. Just like he can do for you. In good hands. There's no better hands to be in than the Creator's. That's what Daniel chapter 3 is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. You know, we all go through things. But see, it's a reminder God's still there. You're in his hands. Don't fear. See, Matthew 10:28 says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. See, I remember my parents always saying, hey, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. See, they might have been able to kill this body, but not the soul. Only one that can do that is God. See, he's the one that really brought us into this world, and he's the one that can take us out. He's the one that decides when our time is up through what we do. When we've done everything that we're supposed to on this earth for him. In Luke 12:5 it says, but I will forewarn you whom you should fear. Fear him which after he hath killed hath power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him, the one that after he is killed can cast you into hell. The King Nebuchadnezzar wanted to put fear into people. You know, he wanted to be, he wanted to tell everybody who to serve. And, you know, he wanted to be God. He's not. None of us are. It's not fear of man, fear of God. By fearing God, we respect him. That's what it really means. If we fear man, he didn't put in, he didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of courage. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego were just that. They were courageous. So go ahead and throw us in there. Because I know our God will bring us out. See, that's the thing we need to say. Go ahead and you know, be careful here how to word things. Because if we say certain ones, it's really going to come. You know, don't ever tell them to bring it. That's a wrong thing to do. But see, we can say, devil, you tried your best, and your best won't be good enough. The God I serve will bring me out. He'll bring me through the fire again. See, when we say the wrong thing, we might be thinking that we're stronger than what we really are. And things will come on. See, I've seen this happen. I've done it. My wife did that. And it was the wrong thing for her to do. I've done it. Not thinking right. But see, we're in good hands with God. See, I know people are going through some things right now. See, let's put it in God's hands. Sometimes we need to be reminded of who we are, where we've come from, where we're going. I've been reminded this week. See, there's been some things going on, and I've seen things. There's sometimes we have one place or one thing that's our biggest battle. And sometimes God places us there for a reason. See, my biggest battle, where I get fought the most, really is at my work. Because they know, because it knows that when God gives me a word to speak, to say something to somebody, that I'm going to speak. I'm going to be obedient to the Father. So it fights me there. Because it knows that I'm there for a reason. And like yesterday morning, I was training the guy how to do truck, and I'm going to be training him, I think, tomorrow morning how to do the other part of the job. And see, I was able to talk to him a little bit. So where there is good, when you intend to do good, evil is present. Always be aware of that. Remember that. You see, basically, I'm right in the enemy's camp, but I'm doing God's will. So what are they going to do? You're doing somebody else's work in his camp. Think about that. Yeah, I'm getting fought, but you know what? I know I'm in the best hands I can be in. I'm in God's hands. I'm in good hands. Are you? God bless.